So it's almost like if there is no recession by summer, then aren't all these doomsdayers going to look really stupid, Grant?
Well, yes, absolutely they will.
So all these doomsayers, the average Americans who are just worried about how they're going to actually make ends meet if there is a recession coming, how dare they be worried? How dare they say anything, bad about the economy?
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
Hey, it's Ashley with Status Coup News. Yesterday, Grant Cardone, private equity ghoul, sales trainer, and complete fucking moron, went on Fox News to tell its aging audience of retirees to stop bitching and moaning about their retirement accounts while they watch the stock market continue to crash. So I'm going to play a little bit of this clip on the Lauren Ingraham show for you guys.
Now, Grant Cardone, Cardone Capital founder and CEO. Grant, great to see you tonight. So is it Trump's Jerome Powell comments? Did they really cause what was at one time a fairly significant sell-off in the market today? What else is going on?
Well, Laura, if that's all it takes, okay, come on. Let's keep this real. Donald Trump has plan A, one plan, make America great again. There is no other plan. And the short-term traders or the pundits on TV that are watching Wall Street, look, guys, this is beyond your pay plan. This man is a master at negotiating. This is in negotiations at global levels that we've never seen before. He's transparent, he's authentic, he knows what he's doing, and he will make America great again. So you guys that are at home and you're worried about your 401k, your IRA, or you traders out there or bankers that are worried about your commissions, just step aside. This is not the time for Monday, quarterbacking. You're not in the game. President Donald Trump is. You've underestimated him over and over.
So, yes, you watching Fox News, MAGA, all you guys, this exact audience, again, of retirees, stop complaining about your 401ks and retirement funds that you need to, just like live. Because I, an almost billionaire, not quite, sorry, Cardone, not quite a billionaire. He should be hustling harder, I guess. I'm doing fucking great, and so are my friends. So all of you pores who are trying to ruin this for us, just shut the fuck up and stop complaining. Because Cardone is either as intellectually challenged as he looks, or at least is pretending to not know how significant people's retirement accounts tanking is. A 2024 Gallup poll indicates that almost 30% of retirees cite retirement investment accounts or savings as a major source of income. So that is 30% of people who are reliant on their 401ks, their pension plans, all of these things that they are now seeing completely disappear. In that same poll, 59% of retirees considered Social Security a major source of income as well. And the Social Security Administration says that about half of people who are 65 or older live in households where Social Security accounts for at least 50% of their total income. And for 25% of people, it accounts for at least 90% of their income. So I'm also going to read from this Business Insider article about how people feel about their retirement outlook. So Business Insider says about a third of U.S. adults believe Social Security alone will provide enough income for them to live comfortably in retirement, but another third said they won't have a retirement account to pull from when they leave the workforce. Right here, NerdWallet's report comes as the U.S. faces a retirement crisis. Millions of older adults don't have the savings or assets necessary to retire from their 9-to-5s, or are living from one Social Security check to another. In 2024, the average check is $1,907. But for many, it isn't enough to get by. What's more, the federal fund could start shrinking by 2030. Highly vulnerable to these retirement woes are peak boomers, the last of the generation who are turning 65 this year, many of whom are caught in the middle of America's switch to a 401k system from pensions in the 1980s. Half of adults aged 65 and above have an income below $30,000 a year, and a fifth of Americans over 50 have no retirement savings at all. Business Insider has heard from boomers who are worried their savings won't last the rest of their lives, and others who struggle each month to afford food, housing, and healthcare. Many worry about becoming financial burdens on their adult children or suffer from loneliness. It never hurts to have more than you need for retirement. With cuts to Social Security benefits on Trump's chopping block, what are these retirees going to do? If you are one of the people who are relying on your 401k to fill in the gaps of Social Security, you're kind of fucked right now. If your retirement account makes up the bulk of what you were expecting to live on, Fox News is basically telling you to just sit back, watch it all disappear, and shut up about it. They all need to pay for their tax cuts, right? So how dare any of these lazy retirees who are just loafing about try to make them feel bad about that? So again, not only is Social Security not a given, now people who are retired and were supposed to be able to live out the rest of their lives comfortably can't rely on their 401ks either. So we're going to watch some more of this video.
And you're doing the same thing this time.
So it's almost like if there is no recession by summer, then aren't all these doomsdayers going to look really stupid, Grant?
Well, yes, absolutely they will.
So all these doomsayers, the average Americans who are just worried about how they're going to actually make ends meet if there is a recession coming, how dare they be worried? How dare they say anything bad about the economy, which is looking terrible right now? They're going to look really fucking stupid when they don't lose everything come this summer. What kind of fucking logic is that? The two of them are just trying to scare their audience of retirees into shutting up and not complaining. Otherwise, you'll be branded as a doomsayer.
And he has predicted over and over what would happen here. Look, he's bringing China to the table.
No, he's not. No, he's not. His tariffs aren't bringing China to the table. They're literally laughing at us and making memes about how pathetic they think that we are. Here's a video that I saw last week on TikTok. Then there is this that Ryan Grimm shared on Twitter with the heading, "For 40 years, trade between China and the US benefited both countries overall, but one of those countries allowed the benefits to be spread around and the other let all of the profits flow to the very top." So I'm going to play this video here.
They rob you blind and you thank them for it. That's a tragedy. That's a scam. That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs ship your job to China, not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and told you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, lift millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people. My family also benefited from it. What did your oligarchs do? They bought yachts, private jets, mansions with golf course driveways. They manipulate the market, dodged tax, and poured billions into endless wars. And you get stagnated wages, crippling healthcare costs, cheap dopamine, debt, and flag wave property made in China while they pick your pocket. For 40 years, both China and the United States benefit from the trade, the manufacturing, but only one of us use that wealth to build. This isn't China's fault. This is yours. You let this happen. You let the oligarchs feed your lies while they made you fat, poor, and addicted. Now they blame China for mess they made. I don't think so. I don't think you need another tariff. You need to wake up. You need to take your country back.
Yeah, he thinks that we need a revolution, and he is right. This is what they think of us. We're not winning this trade war, and there's been a flood of content like this and companies revealing the extent to which all of our goods, both luxury and otherwise, are produced in China. So again, he's right. We are not winning here. And I'm going to Laura Ingraham video and watch a little bit more of this.
This is going to be great for America. There will be a contraction, and the difference is we've been in contraction for a long period of time. Joe Biden just lied it. The entire administration lied over and over about how good a shape the economy was in. Remember, we were hiring 40% of all the jobs were coming from the government.
He's full of shit. That's not true. According to PolitiFact, 11% of jobs that were in the public sector, so government jobs. So not 40%.
They're slicing and dicing jobs with the government today. They're going to get his way on the tariffs. He's going to cut taxes in the next 3 to 4 weeks. America is going to go into a great prosperity. There might be a contraction temporarily, but it's good times ahead for the American families.
First of all, I just want to say how much I love the text at the bottom of the screen that just reads, Trump haters hoping for the worst. Who are the haters here? Working people who are concerned about how they're going to live? Retirees who are concerned about how they're going to live? Who fucking cares if we're technically in a recession right now? People are very clear in that they are struggling, so it doesn't matter. According to a Bankrate survey from January, only 41% of U.S. adults say they could cover an $1,000 emergency expense using their savings, and 27% of Americans have no emergency savings at all, the highest level in 6 years. So people can't hold out for things to get better. People who are retired, and again, who are the main viewers of this network, aren't going to be able to support themselves and buy food and pay rent and pay for medications and other medical expenses, especially if you are retired. And with everything that's going on with Medicare right now, that is not reliable. And forget leaving anything to your kids. You know, part of the reason that people try to build wealth so that they can pass it down to their children. You can't do that if you can't support yourself. And their kids, millennial and Gen X, we don't have any wealth to share. We don't have any money. So how can we support our parents if they are unable to support themselves? I don't know how any of this is supposed to work. How long until people like Grant Cardone, a fucking clown, start telling retirees that they shouldn't have spent as much money on avocado toast and lattes? As always, Fox News is just peddling government propaganda in support of tax cuts that they will benefit from, and hoping that retirees are just going to take the L for the betterment of the wealthy elite who already have enough. So if you can, please like, follow, and subscribe to Status Coup News. And please do consider becoming a paid member for as little as $5 a month so we can keep bringing you on-the-ground reporting. And you can sign up at statuscoup.com/join. I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.